drama continues, and the automotive world is enjoying the scene as Matt Armstrong just revealed that he might be forced to slip the Chiron apart again because of one tiny hidden sensor. Just one small mistake buried deep inside the car that only reveals itself after everything is finally back together. The problem is brutal because it's not easily accessible. The sensor is physically wedged between sections of the car after the Chiron was split and reassembled. That means the only realistic fix may be partially separating the entire car again. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe to this channel because what Matt just revealed now changes everything. Because the timing makes it even more painful. Matt finally got the car driving smoothly, proved the cooling system works, eliminated most major faults, and showed the rebuild was actually possible. Only for the car to immediately remind him he's still not finished. This moment perfectly sums up the entire Bugatti rebuild. Every time Matt solves one impossible problem, the car creates another hidden problem underneath it. The scary part is, Matt doesn't even know if the sensor itself survived. It's twisted and trapped in the wrong position. Even if they separate the car again, there's a chance the sensor is already damaged internally. The Chiron is so tightly packaged that even being a few millimeters off during reassembly can create massive problems later. That's the nightmare of rebuilding million-dollar hypercars without factory support. Even fans are now worried. There's also huge tension because every extra time they separate the car creates new risk. More chances to scratch carbon fiber, damage connectors, create alignment issues, or trigger new faults. Because the biggest irony in the entire rebuild is that after surviving the impossible, rebuilding the gearbox mount, making custom radiators, reviving the W16, fixing the airbags, fabricating a crash bar from scratch, the thing that might force the Chiron back apart again is one tiny hidden sensor. This is another example of why Bugatti didn't expect independent rebuilders to attempt this. The car is engineered in layers where one tiny mistake can force major disassembly again. The rebuild exposed how unbelievably complicated the Chiron structure is. Matt literally says, "You can't just undo one side." That means even a small correction becomes a major operation, because the entire car's structure depends on everything aligning perfectly. The emotional whiplash is huge for viewers. One minute, Matt is experiencing his first Chiron drive ever, calling it insane, saying the car feels smooth. The next minute, he realizes the rebuild still isn't safe to fully finish. Matt openly admitting mistakes happen is important because it shows the rebuild isn't fake perfection. This is what real engineering projects look like. Solving one problem often creates another. This also reinforces how insane the achievement already is. Even with this mistake, the car still drove, held temperature, shifted gears, and survived its first road test after literally being split in half. The rebuild is now entering the most dangerous phase, the small details phase. The big dramatic repairs are mostly done. Now it's hidden electrical issues, trapped sensors, alignment tolerances, and warning lights, the kind of problems that consume the most time. To understand why this sensor moment hit so hard, you have to go back and remember what the Chiron looked like before this rebuild started. This wasn't a car that had a fender bender or a mechanical fault. This was a car that was literally separated into two halves. The front and rear structures were physically divided at the monocoque split line, which is essentially the engineering seam where Bugatti's factory assembly joins the two main sections of the car together. When that separation happened, every single wire harness, every coolant line, every hydraulic connection, every sensor cluster running across that joint had to be disconnected, catalogued, and then reconnected again perfectly on the other side. And Matt's team did exactly that. Without factory documentation, without Bugatti's own technicians, without the specialized tooling that only exists inside Bugatti's Molsheim facility. They did it with raw engineering instinct, camera footage, custom fabrication, and thousands of hours of problem solving. And when the Chiron finally moved under its own power again, it genuinely felt like the story was over. But that's where things got worse. Because what nobody realized in that moment of celebration was that somewhere inside the reassembled structure, one sensor hadn't returned to its correct position. It wasn't immediately obvious. The car started. The W16 fired up. The gearbox shifted. The cooling system held pressure across every custom radiator that Matt's team had fabricated from scratch. The dashboard cleared most of its fault codes. It's not near a service panel. It's physically compressed between structural sections of the car, in a location that only became accessible when the Chiron was split apart. When the two halves came back together, the sensor ended up in the wrong orientation, twisted into a position it was never designed to hold. And here is what makes this genuinely terrifying from an engineering standpoint. Nobody knows yet if the sensor is still functional. It's physically trapped. You can't simply reach in and rotate it. You can't thread a tool through a gap and nudge it back into position. The only way to properly address it is to create access to that area again. And the only realistic way to create that access is to partially separate the Chiron one more time. Which means everything the team just accomplished has to be carefully undone, at least partially, just to fix one component. And this is where the rebuild became dangerous again. On a normal car, this problem would take an afternoon. A shop would identify the sensor, order a replacement, access it through a service cover, and close the job by end of day. The entire repair would cost a few $100s in labor and a sensor that probably retails for less than $50. But the Chiron is not a normal car. The Chiron was engineered with the assumption that the only hands that would ever touch its internals at this level were inside Bugatti's own factory, using Bugatti's own equipment, following Bugatti's own procedures. The car was never designed to be serviced at the structural level by anyone outside that environment. So when you take a trapped sensor on a Chiron and ask what it takes to fix it, the answer isn't measured in hours or dollars. The answer is measured in the risk of re-separating an 8-figure hypercar that has already survived the most ambitious independent rebuild in automotive history. And one wrong move during that process can create a fault that takes weeks to diagnose. Or a connector that works fine until it doesn't. Or a structural alignment that's off by 0.5 millimeter and produces vibration that only appears at high speed. The margin for error at this stage is almost nothing. And yet the team is still here, still working, still committed to finishing this car correctly. And that itself is worth pausing on, because what Matt is attempting now isn't just a mechanical repair. It's a psychological challenge of the highest order. Imagine spending months on a project. Imagine solving problems that Bugatti's own authorized workshops have refused to touch. So here's where we are. The Chiron drove. The Chiron held together. And now one trapped sensor is threatening to force the most ambitious rebuild in recent automotive history into a partial repeat of its most difficult procedure. Matt doesn't know yet if the sensor survived its time in the wrong position. What we do know is this. The Chiron has survived everything so far. It survived being cut in half. It survived being rebuilt without documentation. It survived a road test that most people thought would never happen. And somewhere inside that carbon fiber monocoque right now, one tiny sensor is waiting to find out if it survived too. Whether it did or not, the story isn't over. And somehow that feels exactly right for a car that has refused to make anything easy from the very beginning.